Hi, it's Dawn from Ninja Bunny Crochet. Today I have for us to do this really sweet bunny applique. This can be used for a baby blanket, a pillow, a bag. If you want to make like an Easter garland and you want to make a whole bunch of them and put them on a string and make a little garland of Easter bunnies. It can be used for a lot of different things. So let's bring the camera down and I'll talk about the yarn that you'll need and the hook and anything else that you might need to make this really adorable, cute bunny rabbit. I am using a medium weight, 100% acrylic yarn. I've got some buff color, white, pink, and a little bit of black for the eyes. I already know this is Red Heart Super Saver. You can use any medium for yarn that you choose. It doesn't have to be acrylic. It could be any fiber content you wish. If you want to use a little bit of thinner yarn, like some baby yarn, you could do that too as well. The hook size that I used for this project is an F 3.75 millimeter hook. I'm going to be using my Clover Amour hook. You're going to want a pair of scissors and a yarn needle to weave in your ends. I'm using a little bit smaller yarn needle than I normally use because you're going to have some really tight stitches. And you might want to have a stitch marker on hand or two because we will be working in the round, and if you have some difficulty finding that first stitch, you might want to have a stitch marker or two on hand to help you out. So once you have all your supplies, let's get started. We're going to start with the head and the body of the bunny. So get your main color. For me, it's going to be this buff color. And I'm going to use the magic ring technique. If the magic ring technique is not something that you like to do, or it's something that you're not familiar with, you can always do a chain of 4 or 3, depending on what your tension is. Slip stitch into the first chain that you made and put all of your first round into the center of the ring. So to do a magic ring, how I do mine is I place the yarn over my first 2 fingers with the tail hanging down, wrap it around, and form an X on the back of my fingers. My hook goes under the bottom yarn, turn, grab the top yarn, pull it through, twist, and make a chain stitch. And that secures the ring. Okay, to start round 1, we're going to put 8 half double crochets into the center of the ring. That's 1, 2, 3, 7, and 8. Now once we have 8 half double crochets, you pull your tail to tighten down your ring. Now don't completely tighten it yet because we need to slip stitch to join. So count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and slip stitch into that first stitch to join up your round, just like that. Now you can pull your tail to tighten up that ring. The reason I don't pull it tight to begin with is when you don't have your chains like we did, because we only did 1 chain, it's going to take that first stitch and suck it into the into your ring, so it'll be really difficult to find it. So now to start round 2, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to put our first stitch right back into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into. So we're going to do a half double crochet right back into that same stitch. It's going to be tight. And And we're going to put another half double crochet back into that same stitch. So 2 half double crochets into that very first stitch. And place 1 half double crochet, or excuse me, 2 half double crochets into each stitch around. So 1, 2. You go to the next stitch. 1 and 2. Next stitch. 1, 2. And continue working 2 half double crochets all the way around till you get back to the beginning, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. I've made it all the way back around. We now have 16 half double crochets. We're going to slip stitch to that first half double crochet that we made. So let's get our hook in there, just like that. To start round 3, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to place our first stitch right back into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into. So 1 half double crochet back into that same stitch, and 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. One half double crochet into the next, and 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. That's our repeat all the way around. 1 half double, 2 half doubles, 1 half double, 2 half doubles. Please repeat this all the way around, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. I'm at the end of round 3. We now have 24 half double crochets. We're going to slip stitch into that first half double crochet that we made. To start round 4, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to half double crochet back into that first stitch right here, that same stitch that we just slip stitched into. And we're going to half double crochet into the next stitch. Then we're going to put 2 half double crochets into the next. So we're going to half double crochet into the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, and 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. 1, 2. Half double crochet into the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, and 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. 1 and 2. So that is our repeat all the way around. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. So please repeat this all the way around, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. We're at the end of round 4. We now have 32 stitches. We're going to slip stitch to that first half double crochet that we made. Now this is going to be our last round, round 5. We're going to chain up 1 and half double crochet right back into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into. And we're going to half double crochet into the next 2 stitches. And then we're going to put 2 half double crochets into the next. So that's half double crochet into the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Then 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. 1 and 2. And that's our repeat all the way around. 1, 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 1, 2. So please repeat that all the way around, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of the round. I'm at the end of round 5. We have 40 stitches. We're going to slip stitch to that first half double crochet that we made. And there we go. And we're going to go ahead and fasten off. Leave yourself a good length of tail, because that's what you're going to use to sew your piece together. So there is either your head or your body, because you're going to make another one exactly like this, because you need 2 of these pieces. So go ahead and just back up the video and make another one that looks just like this, and I'll meet back up with you, and we're going to start the face strip and the cheeks. The face stripe, I'm going to be using my white color, and I put a slip knot with a nice long tail for sewing. We're going to start with a chain of 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Starting in the second chain from hook, remember the loop on your hook does not count as a stitch. We're going to go 1, 2, and that second chain, we're going to do a half double crochet and a half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. That's 2. And in the last stitch, so now we have a total of 3 stitches. 3 half double crochets. Now for rows 2 through 6, we're going to chain 1, turn the work, and put 1 half double crochet into each one of the stitches. So we're not going to increase or decrease, we're just going to put 1 half double crochet into each stitch. So we have 6 rows. So that's row 2, chain 1, turn the work. I'm going to start row 3. Just putting 1 half double crochet into each stitch. I'll meet back up with you at the end of row 6. So once you have your 6 rows, just go ahead and fasten off. Leave yourself a little bit of tail there. It's always good to have a little extra tail. I got quite a bit here, but it's better to have too much of a tail, too long of a tail, than too little when you're going to sew your pieces together. So we can go ahead and set this aside now. Put those with your body and your head. And we're going to start the cheeks, which are the same color now. So again, I'm going to be using the magic ring. You can do a chain of 3 or 4 and slip stitch into that first chain to form a ring, or you can go ahead and do the magic ring technique. I'm going to go ahead and do the magic ring. Now these cheeks only have one round to them, and then we're going to be placing 10 half double crochets into the ring. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, and 10. Now just like before, we're going to be pulling our ring closed. Don't completely close it till you slip stitch to that first stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and make a slip stitch into that first stitch to join, and go ahead and close it off. And then fasten off your piece, your little cheek. So make one more of these so that your bunny has one on either side. And we'll move on to the little nose. Okay, now we're ready to start the nose. I'm going to be using my pink color, my baby pink. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to place a half double crochet in that second chain from hook. Just one half double crochet, and then we're just going to fasten right off. Very simple to do. And we have our little bun nose. Just kind of manipulated it around, and you have a little nose. Just like that. Okay, now we can set that aside, and we can move on to the outer part of the ear. To start the outer ear, we're going to start with our main color, a slip knot on our hook, and we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to start in the second chain from hook. The loop on our hook does not count as a stitch. 1, 2, with a half double crochet. Half double crochet in the next 2 chains. So 1 and 2, and that's going to give us 3 half double crochets. Row 2, chain 1, turn the work, and we're going to half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. To start row 3, we're going to chain 1, turn the work, and in the very first stitch, place 2 half double crochets. 1, 2. In the next 2 stitches, place 1 half double crochet. 1 and 2. So that gives us a total of 4 half double crochets. You're going to repeat that same row until you have a total of 7 stitches. So chain 1, turn the work, and this is going to be row 4. So 2 half double crochets in the first stitch, 1, 2, 1 in the remaining stitches, 1, 2, and 3, and that's going to give us 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to repeat that 2 more times till you have 7 stitches, and I'll meet back up with you. We're at the end of row 6. We now have 7 stitches. To start row 7, we're going to chain 1, turn the work, and we're going to put 1 half double crochet into each stitch. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now starting in row 8, we're going to start decreasing so we can get our little point for the top of our ear. So chain 1, turn the work, and these first 2 stitches we're going to half double crochet 2 together. To do that, you yarn over, insert into the first stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through all loops on the hook, and half double crochet into the remaining stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this last one here makes 5. So now we have a total of 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you're going to continue that pattern. We're going to do that again until you have 3 stitches remaining. So I'll start you off on row 9. So you chain 1, turn the work, and you're going to half double crochet 2 together again. So yarn over, insert into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all loops on your hook, and half double crochet into the remaining stitches. 2, 3, and 4, and that gives you 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to want to repeat this till you have 3 stitches left. Now we have 3 stitches remaining. That would be the end of row 11. We're going to chain 1, turn the work, and now we're going to half double crochet 3 stitches together. So yarn over, insert into that stitch, first stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and insert into that last stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and draw through all loops on your hook, chain 1, and we're just going to pull our yarn straight up to fasten off. I'm just going to clip off the yarn because we don't really want to put a big knot on the top of that. So we're just going to pull it up straight up like that, and we're going to grab our yarn needle and we're going to weave this in the back to fasten off instead of getting a big old knot on the top of the ear. Just pull that back down like that, and then weave in your end so it doesn't come loose. So go back and forth a couple times, grabbing some different fibers. To secure that end. Just like that. And then you can go ahead and snip this off. And there is your ear. So go ahead and repeat that for the second ear, and we will move on to make the inner ear. Okay, to start the inner ear, we're going to start with a slip knot on our hook. Make sure you leave a good length of tail on this one to sew it. We're going to start with a chain of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Second chain from hook. We're going to start. Loop on your hook does not count as a stitch. I'm going to start with a half double crochet, half double crochet in the next stitch. It's going to give us 2 half double crochets in the first stitch here. I think I split my yarn. Let's do that again. There we go. Now we have 2 half double crochets. Row 2, we're going to chain 1, turn the work. In that very first stitch, we're going to put 2 half double crochets. 1 and 2. In the next stitch, 1 half double crochet. So we have 3 half double crochets now. Chain 1, turn the work. For row 3, we are going to do 1 half double crochet in each stitch. 1, 2, and 3. So we have 3 half double crochets. Now for rows 4 through 9, we're just going to repeat row 3. So chain 1, turn the work, and half double crochet in each stitch. So 1, 2, and 3. So continue this. This is row 4 till you get to row 9, and I'll meet back up with you at the end of row 9. So we're at the end of row 9. We still have our 3 stitches. So start row 10. We're going to chain 1, turn the work, and we're going to half double crochet those 3 stitches together. Just like we did with the outer ear, yarn over, insert into the first stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert into the last stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all loops on the hook, chain 1, pull that yarn straight up, get your scissors, snip it off, pull it out, tighten it down, and go ahead and weave it into the back to finish it off. Next, we're going to move on to the tummy. Make a second one of these for the other ear, and I'll meet back up with you so we can move on to work the tummy.